In this video, we're going to show you how to use Amazon's own internal advertising platform, Amazon Sponsored Ads. This program is for Amazon sellers only and is not only an easy way to get started advertising, but it can also provide some great results in a very short amount of time. To get started, you log into your Seller Central account, then go to the advertising menu, and then click on Campaign Manager. What this program allows you to do is to advertise any products that you're currently selling on Amazon so that they show up in the search results on Amazon when customers are searching for your type of product. To give you an idea, let's go over to Amazon and I'll do a quick search. So let's start typing in, let's see, one of my favorite products, olive oil sprayer. And here we go. Now these are the normal search results you're used to seeing right in the middle and going all the way down to the bottom. Usually there's 16 results there. And then when you get to the bottom, you'll see something called Sponsored Products on Amazon. And these are the ads that we're talking about and where your ads will show up too. There's usually two at the bottom. And also, if you notice when we were coming down here, they started putting ads on the right-hand side also. They may be repeats the ones at the bottom, and they also include a couple additional products too. Amazon's always doing all kinds of testing with where they're placing your product ads to make sure that they get as many sales and you get as many sales possible, which is great for you. You also might see your ads showing up on mobile devices right here in the middle of the search too. They've been testing that out lately, and that's really a great spot to be. Now, if we were to click on any one of these ads, and we'll take the first one right here, it takes you to the product detail page just as if they clicked on the normal search results. So this advertising is a great way to get your products to show up in search results and get customers looking at your product detail page. So let's go back over to Seller Central and get our first ad campaign set up. All you need to do from your campaign screen is to click on Create Campaign. And you need to give your campaign a name. It doesn't matter what the name is. I prefer to give my campaign names something similar to the product that I'm selling. That way later on when you're selling multiple products and you have multiple ad campaigns, you can tell which one is for which. So we'll give this one the olive oil sprayer test campaign name. After that, you need to set a budget. They always default in $5. That's probably a little too low. I do like to keep mine reasonable starting off somewhere between $10 and $20 until I've optimized my campaign and see how it's working. So let's start off with a budget around 15. You can leave the start date from right where it is and then click on Save and Continue. Next, we'll need to create what's called an ad group. And each campaign can have one or many ad groups. That way you can do some different testing of what your keywords are and what's working. And each ad group itself can have one or many ads. So it's kind of like a tree-like structure. However, for simplicity's sake, I recommend starting off simple and just having one campaign with one ad group and with one ad. So we'll do that here. We'll give the ad group any old name, doesn't really matter. Just call it ad group 1. And then we need to give it a default bid. And what this is going to do, it's going to be the default maximum cost per click that you're willing to pay for any keywords that we add to this ad group. Now later on, you can go in, you can adjust each individual cost per click for each keyword. This is just going to be the default. What I like to do is kind of check and see what Amazon is suggesting. They update this about once a month, and they tell you what the winning cost per click is by category. So if you look at this by clicking on the What Should I Bid link, you'll see the date this is updated was May 2nd, so about a month ago, and they'll tell you what the average winning cost per click is for each category. Now we're in, let's see, home and kitchen, and they're suggesting 16 cents. That's a really low bid. What I like to do also is bid more than what they're suggesting there. I think you'll find, especially early on when you are testing out your campaigns, you want to bid a little more to make sure that you get impressions and clicks. Otherwise, you won't really get enough data quick enough to determine if your keywords and your campaign is working. So instead of 16 cents, let's go with 25 cents. You just want to make sure it's reasonable. I wouldn't go anything above $1 for your first campaign. Once you do that, then you'll need to add your product to this ad group. As you can see here, there is our olive oil spray we'll be selling, and all you do is click Add, and then that shows up over here. Next, we need to pick the keywords for our campaign. Now, Amazon again makes this really simple for you. All you need to do is scroll down, click on Recommend Keywords for your product, and there we go. It gives you all the suggested keywords, and you can go through these one by one and add them over there. So I'll go through. Let's see, Misto olive oil sprayer, that's good. Misto oil sprayer, Misto sprayer, olive oil sprayer, kitchen oil sprayer. Brushed aluminum, probably don't want that. Misto, that's a good one. Olive oil might be a good one too. It's not for our product, but people who are looking for olive oil might want to buy an olive oil sprayer. So we'll add that. Oil sprayer, not kitchen sprayer, maybe olive sprayer, brush. Those might be a little too generic. But I've added all those over there that Amazon suggested. Then you can go over there and also add in any other keywords that you want. So product, keyword 1, product, keyword 2, and you should have already done a lot of research in the earlier modules figuring out exactly what your target keywords are, so you want to make sure that you add these over there. Once you have those added over there, you just click Save, and then you're done. Your ad is now completely set up. You don't need to go in and add any images or add copy because Amazon does that for you. They're going to take the images that are already on your product and also the title of your product and create the ad for you. That's another reason why we always want you to have some really good eye-catching images on your product and also a good, well-converting product title, because those are also used in things like this, such as your ads. Now that our ad's created, let's go look at some performance figures that Amazon gives us in order to really optimize our ads and make sure they're working as best as they can be. I'm going to click on ad groups, and as you see, there's the ad group that we created here. Most of the figures here are pretty self-explanatory. Of course, they're all 0 now because we just started the campaign. But if you look at this, we'll see impressions. That's the number of times your ad has shown up during a search. Clicks is the number of times someone's clicked on it. And then click-through rate is just a function of those two. First important thing to keep in mind is that if this number is very low, we're talking somewhere under 1%, maybe 0.3, 0.4, 0.5%. That's totally normal. Don't worry about it. Every week or every day, someone posts a question about why are their click-through rates so low. It's just the way it is on Amazon. For some reason, human nature there is that people do not search or do not click on the ads that often. However, it's okay because you're not paying for how many times your ad shows up. You're only paying for how many times they click on it. And even though you may not get a ton of clicks, when they do click, the results are really, really good. So next, you'll see how much you've spent on your campaign and then what the average cost per click is. Then after that, all the rest of figures have to do with sales. So Amazon keeps track of how many times someone has clicked on your ad and then ended up buying your product. But the very important thing to keep in mind here is that this data has a natural delay built into it for one reason or another. Not sure why. Maybe it takes time for the payments to clear, and that's what's holding up Amazon from actually reporting those sales. But your sales may not show up for 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 days. However, the other figures on here, such as impressions and clicks and your spend, those show up almost immediately, maybe within an hour. And the important thing to keep in mind there is that if you're monitoring a brand new campaign that maybe has been going for 2 or 3 days, you will see all the clicks and how much money you're spending on it, but you won't be able to see all the sales that have been generated off it yet. So you can't just make a decision after a couple days on how to optimize your campaign. What we recommend is for any new campaign, let it run for 3 or 4 days, then pause it and let it stay paused for another 3 or 4 days and let those sales figures catch up. Then once you have all the sales figures in and you know what your cost was, you can get a better picture of exactly how well your campaign performed. And when you see that information, you can determine which keywords performed well for you and which ones did not. And for those that did perform well, you might want to go in and increase the bid on those in order to get some more clicks. And for those that did not perform well, you might want to lower the bid or possibly even pause them all together because they're just not working out for you. Another thing you can do, you can kind of see how your daily budget is working. If you're reaching your maximum budget every day, you may want to consider raising it to something that's reasonable that you can afford. And that way you'll actually get some more sales out of it too. But only after you have optimized your campaign and you truly have a good feel for what keywords are working for you and what your return is for your ad campaign.